Thanks for staying with us. We're still having this conversation on the results from JAMB. I'll let our guest jump because you've heard quite a bit from Dr. Fabian. What are your response to what he said? I was also going to ask you, maybe we need to remind ourselves the consequences, because if JAMB comes out today and says tomorrow that we've looked at our systems, there was no glitch, here are the results. How is that going to look like for these youngsters?
Yes, thank you so much. So the first question, the first question I want to ask is very simple. JAMB has admitted that there is a speculative issues, as they want to put it. But at the back end, they have admitted that there is a very big issue, right? I want a clear time frame. Are we going to get a feedback in the next week, or in the next 2 weeks, or in the next month? Let it be that there's something that students are expecting, because that will help them a lot. Secondly, after their investigation, are they going to make the findings public? Thirdly, the students need the mark sheet regardless. They need the mark sheet so that they can be able to look at these things. Even if there are areas that they have gaps, it will help them to be able to prepare for the next year. And the best form of investigation is public investigation. If you give the students the mark sheet publicly, they will do a lot of work as you are also doing your work. That would be the most transparent method.
Okay, let's see. Dr. Fabian, you got those 3 questions, right? Time frame.
Well, I don't think he's in a position to determine the time frame of what we are doing. We don't have any. Hello, can you hear me?
Very clearly.
We interact with our candidate. We have what we call a ticketing platform. And these candidates have lined up their complaints on the ticketing platform, and we have responded to them. And I've said it clearly. You see, we have a nation that we are working to build. We must also appear to be very serious with what we are doing. I have told you that a committee has been put together. We have expanded stakeholders from all manner of group that we feel that have the intellectual capacity to deal with the issue at stake. And I am sitting there in the studio. How would you expect me to tell you that in the next 1 hour or 30 minutes, you have results? Sorry, they are there working. I am here. I have not had an insight.
Dr. Fabian, if you don't know the response, you could say we don't know yet. Or I can go back and confirm. Because, sir, I will use that word holistically again. The people writing these exams are not just numbers. They are human beings. They are children. They are children of parents. Some parents who have been... Sir, please, let me just finish. Just let me finish and then you can respond. I'm sorry, sir. We are
parents.
So these people are coming from somewhere.
We are servants.
Dr.
So these children are coming, these are human, these are Nigerian students, sir. Timelines. So there are parents also waiting online. There are schools, sir. So what we're talking about right now, let me call it the human side, the human angle of this conversation is that there are many children waiting to find out what is the next step for them going forward. And they are hoping that JAMB, that the respect for their integrity and their fairness will look into their case and just make sure that, the result is what it is. And then they'll know how to move forward. So, sir, I understand what you're saying, but the response I'm expecting is also put in mind that we're talking about children here. We're talking of Nigerian human beings here that participated in these exams.
Yeah, in addition to that, Dr. Fabian, your responses so far to the questions does not necessarily inspire confidence. People are sitting back at home and waiting to hear from you today to know the way forward. What's the solution? Because if you say that 2 hours is not enough to tell how good a student is, I will now be asking myself, why do I now write JAMB in the first place? What's the essence of that examination if you cannot give me back what I'm giving to it? So we're asking that... Let me say this. I've gotten let me say this very clearly. And I've made this point over and over. We are if you look at my statement, I made it clear. I said, we are very concerned. I don't think you are as concerned as we are, because there are a lot at stake here. Okay. And I must be very, very frank with you, that whatever I'm saying must be something that I can be held responsible. I cannot, if I tell you that in the next 1 hour, but what I can tell you that I want you to take home from here is that
we are going to reach out to the candidate within the shortest possible time. Within the shortest possible time. Let me say that again. But please and please, don't let me come and say something that I will not be able to explain tomorrow. When I mean shortest possible time, it could be less than 2 days. It could be within 1 week. Of course, we know how painful, how distressing some of these things could be, especially for some of these candidates, especially if at the end of the day, it is proved that, yes, there were actually glitches. Exactly. So, as servants of the people, of the nation, we will not sleep. We will go back to our drawing board. We will bring all these people across all over the country, including, if possible, from some of the neighboring African countries, to work on this thing and give Nigerians the best outcome from this particular investigation. Okay. Please and please, let us not drag this issue of timing. Give us the benefit of doubt. Trust in what we are saying. They are going to look into this issue critically. I know that the public, when it comes to government agency, there are these doubts and distrust and stuff like that. But over time, if I've gone back to history and look at our modus operandi, you would have discovered that we've tried as much as possible to be very transparent, to be very trustworthy with Nigerians. And that explains why we bring all manner of people as stakeholders, civil society, the National Association of Nigerian Students and stuff like that. Take this home. The time frame is going to be as short as possible, even beyond what you yourself is imagining.
Okay, so I think there was one more question that we're yet to get concerning the provision of the marking scripts. Would that be eventually provided, do you think, or would you advise the board who is investigating to release the scripts to the students so that they can also have a copy? Is that possible? Publicly.
I have said that earlier. I said in time past, we have had calls to release scripts to candidates. It's not a new thing. Okay. We are not. I don't know whether you are following this conversation as we have started. I have told you from the beginning that we will not be ashamed to admit that we are wrong. Okay. What that means is that we can do everything humanly possible. But for me, remedy, if there are problems, the most important thing is to address the problem. Okay. It's not to go back looking at what. If you look at the processes we pass to arrive at this script, I bet you, even if we give you this script, I'm not sure you'll be able to understand what has actually transpired. Okay. All right. Because you won't have the psychometric knowledge. You won't have the measurement expertise for you to questions, 250 questions over 400. And then how do we normalize and all those things? These are so many technical issues that it will take us time to tell you for the formula for you to understand this, but that is not the issue. Okay. I have told you that we are concerned and we will look into this thing critically, and I bet you before God and man, if there are areas that we have done something that is wrong, by way of maybe scoring, by way of matching responses with the answer, whatever it means, we will come out clearly to admit it within the shortest possible time.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Fabian. I'm going to let you go at this point because our viewers have heard you, parents have heard you. We're going to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll open our phone lines for Nigerians to call in. So I'd like you to just stick around just to hear if you've communicated to our parents. We're going to open our phone lines on your view so our Nigerians can call in to see if they're satisfied with the responses from JAMB. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, Dr. Fabian, for joining us this morning.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.